Alrighty guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be talking about Anki and specifically how I organize the AnKing deck for medical school. So basically, when you start medical school, this video is mainly geared towards new medical students. But when you start medical school, the first 2 years are your preclinical years, and a huge focus during that time is preparing for step 1. There are a lot of really great third-party resources that help with that. Some of the big ones I'm sure you guys have heard of is Boards and Beyond, Bootcamp, First Aid. And so these resources are excellent for step 1 prep. And here's the thing, if your school uses NBME style exams rather than in-house exams, then these third-party resources can also be extremely helpful for studying for your regular course exams. So basically in this video, I'm going to show you a system that lets you organize the AnKing deck so it matches the videos that you're watching, which makes it much easier to study efficiently. This is something I really wish I knew when I started med school. But basically, first, the idea is to figure out which videos you actually need to watch for your unit. And so your school will probably have some sort of study guide, or it'll have like a list of the topics that you need to learn for your upcoming exam. And basically what you want to do is you want to take that study guide and figure out which videos you should watch from resources. Let's use Boards and Beyond, for example. So Boards and Beyond, there's a list of all their videos, basically. And what some people like to do, they like to put the study guide into ChatGPT and also this, the list of videos from Boards and Beyond into ChatGPT. And it basically generates a list of exactly which videos cover the materials for the unit that you're studying. Or you could just do it the old-fashioned way, just go through your study guide and figure out exactly which videos from Boards and Beyond you would need to watch in order to cover everything from your study guide. So once you have that list of videos, you can start organizing Anki. Now, before doing anything else, you need to make sure you've already downloaded the AnKing deck. I'll have a link in the description for the website specifically for AnKing. It's like $6 a month or something like that. And guys, let me tell you, it is absolutely worth it. Just buy it. Don't worry about that price. Just buy it. AnKing is amazing. It's worth it. And you can always unsubscribe later if you're not into the updates and stuff. But basically, when you first install it, you'll notice something important. Now, mine looks a little bit different because I've been using it for a while. But when you first download AnKing, you'll notice that almost all the cards are suspended, meaning that they don't just show up in the main Anki homepage. That's perfectly normal. So the idea is that you only unsuspend cards that match the material that you're currently learning. So I want to show you guys how to organize everything. Let's set up the organization. I'll just do a practice one. But first, you want to create a new deck for the unit that you're studying. And then inside that deck, you'll create subdecks for each video. So I'll give you an example. So in Anki, you can do this using 2 colons in the deck name. So I'll create a new unit. I'll just call it unit name. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create subdecks. So I'm going to create a deck. I'm going to have unit name and then 2 colons, and then I'm going to put like subtopic 1 or video 1. Let's do video 1. And then unit name, I'll do video 2. And then I'll just make a third one, call it video 3. So basically you can see that this creates a main deck with subdecks underneath it. And if you want to create even more subdecks within those subdecks, just add more colons to the end. It organizes everything. So now that your structure is ready, I mean, you can kind of see how I've organized these in the past. But now that your structure is ready, we can connect it to the AnKing cards. So what you want to do, you go to Browse. On the left side, you're going to see all the tags that come with the AnKing deck. One of the most useful tags, because we're using Boards and Beyond, that's mainly what I use. Sometimes I use First Aid. And you can even see they have so many different ones. But let's use Boards and Beyond since that's our example. There's this tag. And it organizes cards by the specific video that they correspond to. So for example, if you open the Boards and Beyond tags, you'll see a list of every video from that resource. So let's say you just watched a specific Boards and Beyond video. You go into the tag for that exact video, and Anki will show you all the cards that correspond to that video's content. From there, you can select all the cards. You can just hit Control A, which is Control All, and then you'll see if they're in yellow that they're still suspended, which means that they're just not active yet. So what you do is you unsuspend those cards and then move them into your sub deck that you created for that video. And once you've done that, those cards are now perfectly organized. And it makes your workflow become so simple. But basically, so you watch a Boards and Beyond video, then you open Anki, you go to that deck for that exact video, and you study the cards that correspond directly to what you just learned. Now, over time, this creates a very structured system that you can always go back to, where your Anki decks match your learning sequence video by video. Now, one important thing I want to emphasize is that this should not replace your school materials. You should absolutely still be using your lectures, PowerPoints, and anything that your professors assign. This method is just an additional layer of organization, especially if you want to use Anki effectively alongside third-party resources. And most schools encourage using these third-party resources anyways. And so the big advantage is that instead of randomly unsuspending cards, you now have a very organized system that's tied directly to the videos you're watching. Or let's say that you use first aid. You just use the first aid book. It's all organized on here with all the tags and everything. If I pull up first aid on this left side right here, you can see it's all organized. Like I can just break down every single topic from first aid and then make decks for each topic. But if you use Bootcamp, you use Boards and Beyond, you watch a video, you go to that deck, you study those cards, and then you can move on to the next one. And if your school uses NBME style exams instead of in-house exams, this system lines up very, very well with the type of material you'll probably see on those exams. So that's the basic setup. Once you organize it this way, Anki becomes so much easier to manage. This is something I wish someone showed me my first day of med school. I did not know anything about Anki. I hope this is helpful for you guys. You can move through your resources in a very structured, step-by-step way. So if this was helpful, please give the video a like, subscribe if you want. If not, that's fine with me. But if you have questions, please leave them in the comments. I'd be happy to help clarify anything. That's just about everything I have. Hope you guys have a good day.